Still saying you're muted.
There
we are. Fire away, Gary. You have the floor.
Technology. Thank you for your time. Jurgen, you told my colleague earlier that Mo is fit and available to play. Could you just clarify the likelihood that he will start?
Oh, you want to have the starting lineup?
Yes.
No, he's obviously, he trained yesterday, completely normal, will train today, completely normal, as I would guess, and then he's available. What I make with the lineup then, you have to wait until tomorrow. But it's the same with Robbo. He trained yesterday as well, completely normal. So that's the same. The two guys, Millie and Joel, will not be available for tomorrow. We have to figure out exactly how long it will take. But tomorrow, there's not, they don't play.
Obviously now, a lot of teams have experienced their stadiums without any fans, but there isn't quite a stadium anywhere in the world that matches Anfield on a weekday night for atmosphere. Just how different do you think it's going to be?
Very, very different. But I only think about this when I get asked about it, because it's we know it since. We trained since 4 weeks, around a bit more now. We were in the lockdown before for awful lot of time, so means we knew it. We knew it will not be there. So, and for my rule for life is things I cannot change. I don't really think about. So, and that's how it is. Yes, football is not the same without supporters. 100%. Football would not be the game without supporters if they would have been never there. 100%. But in this moment, it's only a period where we have to play without supporters. So we have to make the best of it. And the derby is a good example for that. It was maybe not the best football game you've ever seen, but it's or you ever saw. But it was from intensity point of view, was the same like the other derbies were. So it was not. We didn't play like we played because there were no supporters or stuff like this. Yes, that's an effect as well. So we took it like it is. So we don't think about it anymore. It will be the first game at Anfield, but it's still a home game because we have our dressing room, we have all our things around. We know exactly where is what and stuff like this. So that feels already good when you walk in the dugout or in the dressing room area. So it feels already good. It's a home game, and that's what we might want to see on the pitch as well, of course. But in the end, no crowd, no atmosphere. We have to take that. But I like that part of the game from the derby now, really, because it looked for me like a proper football game. There was nothing different, but of course it is completely different.
Simon Crabtree, thank you very much, Gary. Simon Crabtree, just for...
Hi, Jurgen. Is it possible, if you have missed it, to describe how much you've missed Anfield? And given that it's Crystal Palace and they were the last team to win a Premier League match there, albeit 55 games ago now, can you remember how that defeat left you feeling?
No, but I know how defeats feel. So that means it was for sure not a good day. I didn't think that this will be the start of a pretty long period where we will not lose that night or that day. But it's long ago. I don't remember it, and I don't have to remember it to know that what we have to do tomorrow night. So it is a game against a very, very good side. Roy is doing an incredible job there. So the organization of the team is really, really, really highest level. Meanwhile, the team is physically strong. They have good individuals. It's a good setup. That all works pretty well. They have 4 games in a row, I think, without conceding a goal. So that's all very positive from their point of view. But we have our own targets, our own aims. We want to go with all we have, and we want to make a special game for us of this game. So it's of course important who we play, but whoever we would play, it would be the same with the specific information about the opponent. And in this case, it's Crystal Palace in a good moment. So that's all what we need to know. And from this point, we have to start our plan and what we want to do in this game. So the last game against Crystal Palace, or when we lost that game, I think the last game, was it the 4-3? Was when we won at home 4-3? I'm not 100% sure, but that was pretty special then as well. So we know, obviously, they know how to take chances, and we have to make sure that they will not have a lot, or in the best case, none.
Simon, one more, because you're obviously with us. Yeah.
Yeah, without wanting to sound like the Grinch or the bird of doom, obviously Manchester City could still catch you mathematically. Have you ever considered that? Have you ever thought about the unthinkable?
No, it's not about catching or whatever. I never, I didn't finish that season before we started. So I said, okay, but it's now 22, 20, whatever number of points we have. As advantage, no. The only thing what I realized when I watched the game last night is how is it possible that anybody is 20 points ahead of this team? That's pretty much unthinkable, actually. That's unthinkable. So we must have done obviously a couple of things really well and right that we could have, but can have the situation here. But no, I don't think about City can catch us or whatever. I think about Crystal Palace. So, but how I said, it's whatever. If you are now a little bit, if you are not with us, you make something bad of this. What I said, and make a big headline of it, City cannot catch up or whatever, that's completely bollocks, because that's not what I say. It's what I mean is I'm really only concerned about what we are doing, and I'm only think about what we have to do in the next game, and not what City is doing. I watch them because we play them on Thursday in a week, so in 8 days, 9 days, and that's why I watch them, and not for hoping that they lose or whatever. It was never like this. Maybe I wanted them to lose last year against Leicester, but that didn't work really well. So that's why I stopped doing that. It was only one time, it didn't help. So I don't do that. I watch them and I respect them a lot. I said that plenty of times. Yes, they look like they will win all the games they still have. Because they look really strong, but that's all. They were always strong. We are not so bad. Let's think about that.
Not sure if Zoom has a bleeper system, so I think you meant nonsense there.
We may edit that one out.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I think you meant complete nonsense is what you meant. I'm sure.
And what did I say?
Well, never mind. That would be a disaster to repeat. Oh. John Murray, can we please unmute and save me from this catastrophe? Thank you very much, John, for the BBC.
Jurgen, hi. There were, I think all of the coaches were concerned, weren't they, about the length of the layoff and then the limited amount of build-up time. So, you know, how did you feel that the players physically coped with the first match back? And how are you thinking now in terms of how to manage the fitness with the program ahead in the light of that?
Yeah, that's a challenge, 100%. So there were a couple of injuries, obviously now with other teams as well. Let's go through. James Milner felt his hamstring, but don't think it is not too serious. So and if you think about James Milner trains 365 days a year, so he came back from lockdown and could play the next day. So that has nothing to do with that. Joel Matip, I think Richarlison, when he was in a challenge with Richarlison or Calvert-Lewin, and stepped on his foot, which is uncomfortable, has nothing to do with that. So there will be injuries, 100%. We all have to make sure that that the boys are in the best possible shape. This now playing on Sunday, Wednesday, that's always a challenge for football managers. It's like these 2 days in between only. This is a real challenge. It's always like this. We have now Sunday, Wednesday, then Thursday next week, which is I would have preferred that it's different, but we cannot change that. We take what we get. After that, it will be really challenging, 100%, because after that, then I think I'm not 100% sure if all the fixtures are already out, but the next 4 games will be in kind of 9 days or so. That's a massive challenge, or 10 days. It's a real tough one, but it's for other teams the same. And we have just to make sure that recovery and treatment and stuff like this is absolutely spot on. That's what we have to do. We have a lot of tough periods in a year, and I don't know. I studied sports science, but I don't know what is better, to have 9 weeks off, train 4 weeks and play then, or to play like 14, 15 weeks and have then, like we have always at Christmas, around Christmas, have then like 10 games in, I don't know, 30 days, stuff like this. So I don't know what is better. So both is challenging 100%, but that's the job, and we have to make sure that we come through that as good as possible.
Okay, thank you, John. Appreciate it. Dave Chisnall from ITV. Just